welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with a Disability Policy for All. Today I'm fortunate to be interviewing Derrick Willis, who is the AUCD 2023 Conference Chair, as well as the incoming President of the AUCD Board of Directors. Derrick is also the Director of the UCEDD and a friend of mine. So welcome, Derrick.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here, Liz. Thank you for having me. Yeah.
Today we're going to be talking about the AUCD Conference coming up on November 5th to the 8th in Washington, D.C. My first question is, when you think of emerging leader, what do you think of?
Oh, good question, Liz. When I think of emerging leaders, I think of, first and foremost, is individuals with disabilities and individuals with lived experiences, particularly in our network. I try in the work that I do to really create opportunities that help them be engaged in all that we do, whether it's research, whether it is our youth development programs, or self-advocacy programs, hiring individuals with disabilities, et cetera. And so when I think of the emerging leaders in our network, that's the first thing that comes to mind. The other thing that comes to mind is our trainees, our long-term or short-term trainees, our LIN trainees, just the individuals who are becoming aware of the opportunities that were within our field, and learning about what is happening in the disability environments that they live in. And then last is just our mid-level managers and our mid-level coordinators and stuff, people who have been in the field for a while, maybe 2 to 3 years, and are advancing their practices and their work within the network. Those are the things that come to mind when I think about emerging leaders.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure that our audience might understand what engage in this way means. When they think of engagement, they think of engaging, being married or whatever. So.
Yeah. So it's really around inclusion and having people invited to the table, having people sit at the table with us, help us plan, help us strategically think about what is the emerging trends and the things that are happening in their communities and their neighborhoods. But it's really about involvement, about inclusion, and outreach, so to speak.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Can you share some highlights of this year's conference, and what are you the most looking forward to during the AUCD conference? Yeah,
certainly. I think, I can't talk a little bit about all of the highlights because we're still in the process of planning, but I think some of the things that I've seen as a highlight for this year's has been, number one, the number of proposals that were submitted. We received over 300 proposals. Of those proposals, almost half, I think we were somewhere around 49% of those proposals included individuals with disabilities in their proposals to do presentations. We also had about 17% of our proposals be from trainees, those long-term, the short-term trainees as well. And so those are some of the highlights when I look at where we are and what we're doing at this present time. Those are some of the things that stick out. We're going to have roughly 70 breakout sessions. They will be covering topics from all over, from training to research to outreach, technical assistance, equity, of course, social justice. So a broad number of topics. And so those are some of the things that I think will be some of the highlights. People can see that there are multiple things that they can attend and get information on from this conference. Your second question was around what do I look forward to the most? I think for me, it's the awards ceremonies. That's always been a long time favorite of mine. I'm a past recipient of an award that was, related to diversity, but I think it's awesome that we have the opportunity to celebrate the great work that is being done in our network. And, we have many people, thousands of researchers and practitioners that are working behind the scenes and are doing work that is unheard of. And this gives us an opportunity to recognize people who are doing amazing things in our network stuff.
Thanks. You mentioned two words that I'm not sure that our audience will understand. And since this is a YouTube show for people that might not understand about policy or big words, we make sure that things are in plain language. One word is receptia. I can't pronounce it. Receptia.
Yeah.
And another one is practitioners.
Yes. So when I said I was a recipient, so I received the award. So I was awarded the Leadership and Diversity Award in 2014. So that's what that was referencing. And then a practitioner is anybody who is practicing in the field of disabilities, from anybody who's working in the field of disabilities.
Okay, thank you. And if I can add, what I'm the most excited about for the conference is that we're bringing in 10 teams of students and a support person from colleges for the student can colleges the student with disability attend, and so exciting that not just only for trainees who are probably 30, 40, whatever, but these kids who are 18, 19, 20 years old will be advocating for themselves about the Higher Education Act or the sub-minimum wage, and that's so exciting to me.
It is very exciting, and I'm happy to hear that, and we'll be looking forward to meeting as many people as we can and networking. Yeah, for sure.
With the theme of emerging leaders shaping the future being in the theme of the conference, should we expect from the board level to be work on leadership in your term as president?
Yeah. I think it's safe to say that. Yeah, leadership is something that I value. I think it's something that we, as an organization, as a network, need to keep in the forefront. And so, yes, this in my term, I think a lot of our time will be around the conference theme, like you said, shaping the future. And so we're about to embark on a new 5-year strategic planning process, which we provide outreach and engagement and talk to people in the network around what are they seeing, what are the things that we need to be spending our time on and our focus on. And so in my presidency, I think it will be defined as that building and setting the building blocks for our future and beyond as well through our strategic mapping.
Okay, thank you. And the last question is, why are emerging leaders so important for the future of the AUCD network?
Yeah. Well, I think they actually will be the ones leading. You see all this gray here. you have these old guys like myself who probably in the next 2 to 3 years will probably be stepping down and retiring. And one of the things that has been so amazing to see over these past years has been the change of leadership in our UCEDD directors and Lynn directors, and so I think emerging leaders and people who are about ready to take the seats that I sat in and many others, it's so important that we keep our eye on that and to really make sure that we provide support to them, give them leadership opportunities, and help them grow as again we start to phase out and end our careers and everything. And so and I've seen it work personally. We've hired over 17 employees this summer. All are newly created positions, and I see the people who we have hired, and it's exciting. It's exciting to see fresh faces, different perspectives, different thoughts around disabilities, things that we don't think about when we're in our day-to-day work and everything. So yeah, it's important to me.
Well, thank you, and thank you, Derrick, and thank you for your time, and I look forward to seeing everyone next month. Bye.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
All right. Thank you, Liz. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.